What's going on, everybody? Let's try this again. How's everybody doing? I'm an idiot, all right? That's all I can say. Yeah, I was in the bad headspace. I don't know what happened. What had happened. And I've been doing YouTube for 10 years next month. 10 years. I've gotten troll comments that would make you want to knock your head off and throw it out a window, okay? Yesterday wasn't like a big league or anything. It's just, I think my headspace was just off. I don't know what it was. But first thing I want to do, let me take this off. First thing I want to do is give a massive thank you to Beth and Chris, the mods that were in there yesterday. And that was a small percentage of why I had to check out, because I just felt so bad for them. I love having mods, but when I look in that chat and I see the mods are just constantly having to go and knock people off, I just feel bad, and of course that's not the sole reason. It was my own, fucked up head that was going on at the time. And luckily I'm a Rocky fan. Luckily I'm a massive Rocky fan, and I always think back to that speech that he gives his son in Rocky Balboa, that it ain't how hard you hit, it's how hard you can get hit and keep moving forward. Get up. No matter, we're all going to fall. We're all going to have moments where we just, we're going to fall to the ground, and you're not going to want to get up. You're going to want to just kind of lay there and soak in it. But eventually you got to get up. And that's what I did. And when I went to bed last night, I was in a bad headspace. And I when I woke up this morning, it was like, a switch. And I said, no, I refuse. That's what I said. I refuse to let anyone keep me down. Fuck that. So, you know what? And guys, that's not the first time I've had trolls running wild in my chat. And I usually handle it like a champ. But yesterday was just a day. It was, and we've all had that day, right? That day where you're just like, it gets in your head and it fucks with you. And that's what happened with me yesterday. It messed with me. And I didn't want to just go on autopilot for the rest of the stream. You don't deserve that. And I don't deserve to put myself through that. So, yeah. And I'm going to admit, I'm not perfect, okay? I broke a rule, all right? For this stream, I was like, fuck it, I'm getting a monster. And some of you don't know the inside joke on that. Like, I gave up Monster, like a year ago or something like that. But I'm not going to lie. Every now and then, you gotta partake, every now and then when you've had a really, really bad day and that's the one thing that's going to get you. I was like, before the stream, I'm going to go get me a damn Monster. And here we go. Oh God. Fuck. That was good. Let me say my hellos. Guys, I'm in a much better mood today. Much better mood today. Thanks to you all. Jeremy Libersat, Beth, how are you doing? Brooke Scarlett, Linda, nice to see you in here again. Linda ain't giving up on me. Jamie Hart, channel member, how are you doing? Chris, Jake Tilton, channel member. He said this is his first time being at or catching a live stream, which is awesome. Lance Chafin, Brett, how are you doing? Ryan Olachow Seeing a lot of great familiar faces. You know, Mask Guy Johnny. Man, I love you guys so much. Gory Tiger. You know, ERBW, First Live. Everybody say hello to ERBW and say hello to Jake. Say hello to Jake. Yeah. Man, you guys make this so fun. Much better headspace. I think that was part of the problem yesterday, too. I was just in a bad headspace. Jesus. Thank you, Kate. I appreciate that. Mike Cinema, never will I ever forget about you, good sir. Ever. And I even added a new story tonight. Because it is Sunday. And Sunday, I always like to check Variety.com and see what the box office did. I don't like report on the box. It's my mic, like, I noticed that my mic's like pinging on the red. Am I too close to it? Let me know, guys, if I'm too close to it, all right? I can back it off. I'll back it off a little bit, all right? Yad T, how are you doing? Yeah, big hug, man. Big hug to everybody. Yeah. Damn it. Damn, I meant to look up to gift channel members. Shit. How do I do that? If you give me a second, Dave Vanderhoff, how you doing, brother? Dan, if you give me a second, I'll try to figure out how to do gift channel members. Is it easy? Do you guys know? Chris, do you know? How do I gift a channel member? Is it like a really easy thing, or is it something that I got to jump through hoops for? All right, because if it's easy, I'll do it right now, and I'll gift 5 channel members. All right? And that'll be the first time I've ever done it. You can click on a name, and then it should show gift membership. So I could just... Now, isn't there a way to just do it random? You know what? All right, let me see. I'm going to try Dave Vanderhoff. All right, Dave Vanderhoff, let's see. Let's see if I can do this. Channel activity, pin message, report, put user in timeout. It doesn't, Beth, it doesn't give me the option. That's weird. Damn it. Click on the $sign like you're going to buy them, and there should be an option to gift membership. Click on the $sign. Okay, hold on. Let me see. Where's the $sign? Oh, hold on. I see it. Okay, here we go. I found the $sign. Thank you, Jamie. All right. Super chat, membership gifting. Uh-oh, here we go. 50 memberships. I'm not doing that. 5 memberships. Here we go. Okay, 5 memberships. All right, let's see if this works. Bye. Do I need to update my credit card? Your gift has been announced. Okay, 5 memberships. I don't know what to do from here. Do you guys just tag those? How does that work? Let me know. Oh, here we go. Oh, this is exciting. Blazing Asian was gifted a membership. Plasmatic Controller, Big Rod gifted a membership. It all popped up. Yes, it did, Beth. They're randomly assigned. I gave 5 as well. You are awesome, Chris. That's what I'm talking about. Hell yeah. I love it. I love this. The love. Can you feel the love tonight? Do we want to start with funnies? Nathan Mills, how are you doing? I think we want to start with funnies. Nuclear fusion. You were already a member anyway. Yeah. Man, I love that. Is Davey Deathray in the house? There he is. Hell yeah. Davey is a member. Davey, did you get one of those free memberships? Man. This is awesome. All right, we'll do funnies. We'll start it off with a few funnies. I got like 16 funnies. We can roll through them. Happy Sunday, Lee. Let's keep those trolls out of here. They run rampant on my channel. I was going to ask you, Davey, am I the only one that gets trolls in a live stream? I'm sure a lot of you guys that live stream, you're probably like, oh my God, did he really run and hide? You guys probably deal with them on a daily basis. Oh my God. This is too fun. I'm so glad I streamed today. I'm so glad I jumped back on. You got to jump back on the horse, right, guys? You always got to jump back on the horse. Chris says, I wish I got more trolls in my live streams than what I do. I know. I actually stated not too long ago that if I'm not getting troll comments, then I feel like I'm doing something wrong. Right, Chris? Need to step up my game. So, yeah. But, I did take precautions, too. I did it where you had to be like a subscriber for 3 days at least, It's not all, you can't keep them out fully, but, it is what it is. It's no. I think a part of my problem yesterday was the amount of real estate they were taking up in my chat, because I don't know if it was one or a couple of them, but they would take up like a list like this long. And like if the chat's this long, it was just like, and that was just getting to me. I was like, fuck these guys. I hate them taking your space. So, yeah. Lance, never feel left out, okay? Never feel left out. Oh, God. All right. Do we want to do funnies? Here we go. Let's do some funnies. All right. Let's have some fun. That's what it's all about. Get in that Christmas spirit. Why not start off with a troll comment? Actually, this is not a troll comment. Hold on. This is just an observational comment. I guess that's what we'll call it. Okay? And this is a comment, when you've been doing YouTube for as long as I have, I do have videos that are, 5, 6, 7, 8, 10 years old, and they still get comments. And do you know what? Let me just tell you guys, okay? YouTube etiquette. If you go onto a video and let's say it's more, let's say it's more than, I don't know, a couple years old, and if it's got quite a few comments, might not want to go in there with an actually comment because it's probably already been addressed, right? I mean, you're right, but it's probably been addressed. And so this person said, Angela is not the name of the priest's assistant. Her name is Mrs. Tredoni. Angela is Alice's chubby cousin who is also a possible suspect. I did this review, I think 8 years ago, something like that. And I don't even know what he was talking about. I haven't even seen Alice, Sweet Alice, probably since I reviewed this movie. So I said, you are correcting me 5 years later. Thank you. Because I don't know what to do with this information. Do you want me to like insert the correct information in my head about this movie so I can go forward with my life and be happy? I don't know. Patrick, thank you. He says, I look forward to Nosferatu, but I hope Robert Eggers doesn't just stick to period pieces. Be nice to see him do something a little more modern. Yeah, and you make a good point there, Patrick, because every single movie that Robert Eggers has done has been a period piece. And I don't mind them. I love his movies. I adored The Witch. I really liked The Lighthouse. Northman was good. I think his two masterpieces are Nosferatu and The Witch. And those are period pieces. But yeah, I would love to see Robert Eggers actually do a modern day movie. Just because I love his style, the way he handles characters. He's just unique, and I would love that. So I'm thinking eventually he'll probably do a modern day type movie. We'll see. But yeah, he does have a soft spot for period pieces for sure. So yeah. Okay, let's go to the next one. This is called Abominable. That's a hard word to say. Abominable. Say that 5 times real fast. Okay? Abominable. I can only do it 3. How about Eggers with a take on Batman, Gotham by Gaslight, perhaps? Ooh, that would be cool. Yeah, I would love it if one of these like auteur, artsy type directors like Eggers or Ari Aster, what if they did a big Hollywood studio driven type movie, like a Batman or something like that? It could be awesome, I think. I think we need artistic directors like that doing higher profile movies, because I do believe superhero fatigue is a thing. Yeah, and every now and then one will pop up that ends up being good, and then all of a sudden everybody's saying, no, it's not superhero fatigue. It's just make good movies. And I think both are true to an extent. I got a comment today about Craven, and this guy was just... I almost saved it so I could share it and show it to you guys, but man, this guy was pissed. He was pissed that I did not like Craven. It ruined his day. And... I'll read it to you, okay? Because I can't show it to you, but let me read it to you. Because I did a screenshot of it, and you tell me if I'm wrong, okay? Let me put on my glasses. Man, Brett, I love seeing that channel member, rapping. What am I saying? I love seeing the green logo for the channel member thing. It looks sexy. Okay. Everyone stop bashing every movie that comes out. I get those comments too from time to time. If you don't like a movie, all of a sudden, everybody's bashing the movie. I literally cannot think of the last non-Deadpool movie you all haven't bashed. Damn it. You sound stupid. Everything isn't going to be Infinity War. It was action-packed. He's talking about Craven. And he's a badass Craven. He will be back in another Spider-Man movie. I don't know about that. He played the part too good. And I gave him. This is kind of the response that I always give these type comments. I put, brother, I'm so glad you love this. I really am. This is my own personal opinion, which I did say that at the end of the video. This year has been a pretty bad year for comic book films, at least to me. And I don't hate everything, but I call it like I see it. Thank you for watching. That's what I say, But he did actually go and reply to a few other comments bashing me over and over. Isn't that weird though? Just bashing somebody that you don't even know. It's probably I don't recognize the name, so it's probably the first time he's ever even been on my channel. But of all the hills to die on, Craven? Really? And I love that he loved Craven. I think that's awesome. I think he was a dick. I don't know what the hell I did to piss him off so bad, other than not liking the movie. I didn't like the movie, okay? But I'm sure some of you liked the movie, and I think that's great. It's awesome. Does Lee know my green comment has a comment? Let me look at it. Hold on. What about Mike Flanagan writing Clayface? What about Mike Flanagan doing anything? I don't understand why they don't let Mike Flanagan do Nightmare, because I know years ago he wanted to do, he was lobbying to do Nightmare on Elm Street, and they wouldn't let him do it. So he just moved on to other things, I guess. It's weird. I don't know. Okay, let's go with I didn't even comment on the Abominable, the Vince Neil. Yeah, the look of Rhino was horrible, Brett. Ugh. I just didn't like the movie. It was, and aside from all the other mess that movie was, my biggest problem, it was boring. That's it. It was boring to me. I wanted to fall asleep in the movie, And I saw one of my commenters, they stated that they couldn't handle it. They got up in the middle of the movie and they left. And I said, I literally almost thought about doing that. But I needed to review it. So us reviewers, there's been times, I guarantee you, and I'm speaking for myself, where we probably want to get the hell out of the theater, halfway through for a lot of the movies we see. But you have to stick it out because you want to give a solid review. Somebody mentioned Grace Randolph yesterday. And I remember, this was during when COVID was starting up. And remember that Russell Crowe movie where it was about road rage? I can't remember the name of the movie, but I remember she reviewed that movie. And in the review, she stated that she left halfway through. And a lot of the commenters were mad at her because you didn't give the movie a fair shake. You left halfway through. But I think because she stated that she left halfway through, doesn't that count? If she just lied and said I watched the whole movie even though she didn't, then yeah, Blazing Asian, it was tough, man. It was tough sitting through that movie. By the way, guys, all you new channel members, you're going to be on the channel member card in every video. So there you go. All right, next one. Vince Neil, man, he needs to hang it up, by the way. And I'm a Vince Neil fan. I saw Motley Crue back in '99. And back then he needed to hang it up. So he seems like a nice guy, but he's just, he's phoning it in. That's what he's doing. And half the time he's holding the mic out to the audience. So, guys, is this you? Why is the popcorn always gone? Before the movie, also before the movie. And it's just about true every single time I go to the movie. Man, here's another problem I had at the Craven screening. I went on Thursday night. And I recorded my review, I think, on Friday night. The movie was supposed to start at 7:55. There are not trailers, commercials playing for a good 10 minutes. I did watch John Campia's review. His out-of-theater reaction was really, I didn't watch the full review, but his out-of-theater reaction was hilarious. But yeah, so I'm looking up and they're still playing commercials. And I'm like, why are we doing that? And I looked at my watch. It was literally 5 after 8. And they hadn't even started trailers yet. And then they started trailers, and I'm going to be generous and say that they had 20 minutes, and they probably had 25 of trailers. So that damn movie that was supposed to, the showtime was 7:55, that damn movie did not start until about 8:30. And that puts you in a bad mood when you go to watch a movie, right, guys? If you're going to watch a movie that you're not, like, super, super hyped for, then that's just going to make things worse by the time the movie starts. You start getting, and maybe to give the movie just a little bit of credit, I was annoyed by the time the movie started. But I will say the first 8 minutes of the movie, I was like, okay, I sat up in my chair. This could be good. But then it just falls off a cliff after the first 8 minutes. So, yeah. Let's go to the next one. And then we'll get on to the news. Oh, yeah, this was... This is one I got the other day. I do get comments about my physical appearance sometimes, and it's weird. This dude changed from brown to white real quick. I guess, yeah, he's talking about the color of my skin. And I guess to explain that, which I should never have to explain that, it's about lighting. And I have 3 lights here in my studio. I got 2 ring lights right there, and then I got an umbrella light that's usually right over here, but I didn't want it to be in the frame, so I put it over there. But when I do my normal reviews, I have an umbrella light here, and then I got a ring light here. And sometimes I will make the mistake of sitting back a little bit too far from the light, and I'll be a little darker, and I don't even know what he's trying to accuse me of. Saying I changed from brown to white real quick. I don't know. Maybe he's just being silly. But sometimes I'll go and because I color grade all my videos when I go into editing, because if you don't color grade, sometimes it can give off like a flat look to the image. So I'll go in every video. I have like a preset template color grade. And it'll kind of make things pop. At least in my eyes, it makes things pop. But sometimes I'll forget to adjust that exposure if I need to, if I'm sitting too far back from the lights. And I guess that's the answer to that. So, and I put, depends on how close the lighting is. It's not intentional. Plus, I live in Florida. It's winter. So, yeah, that's another thing. In the summer in Florida, I work outside, and my skin does get pretty dark in the summer. And I really have to adjust that lighting so you can see me. But in the winter, like right now, this is it. This is what I look like. So it's just a weird thing to have to answer to. I don't know. It's just very strange. Okay, destroyers. It's so badass when people stand in front of shit that they destroyed. Personal opinions here. I think Kathleen Kennedy should have left Star Wars. I know that people. There's some people they love the new trilogy, and that's great. That's great. It hasn't aged well for me. I'll just say that. All three of those new movies. Every time I try to rewatch them, it was exciting. Like the first time I watched Force Awakens, and Force Awakens does have some fun moments for sure. But yeah, and I could go down a freaking Star Wars rabbit hole and talk ad nauseum about the problems with Star Wars, and it's not just the sequel trilogy. You could literally start from Return of the Jedi, and I don't like Ewoks. Ewoks, they annoy me. They annoyed me back in '83 when I saw it in the theater. Was it '83? I think it was '83. Yeah. So it's not that I'm just jumping on the new trilogy and Kathleen Kennedy and all that. No. It's not like every Star Wars movie before this new trilogy was freaking The Godfather. No. I think the first Star Wars release and Empire Strikes Back, those two movies are almost perfection, especially Empire Strikes Back. Everything else, yeah, So yeah. This is Star Wars. This is Dollar Tree hot wings. Don't eat them hot wings from Dollar Tree. Guys, I'm going to tell you right now, and I can attest to this, don't buy any food in the freezer section from the Dollar Tree, okay? I don't need to get too graphic here, but you will pay for it, all right? Because the Dollar Tree, they get, I think they get food that's like past its expiration date or something, and it's not good times, okay? It's not good times at all. Next one, DoorDash. Here we go, DoorDash. This is one of my favorite funnies of the week. Okay, I like this one. I don't know why, but I like it. It's me watching the delivery person drop off a $40 chalupa. Guys, do any of you use DoorDash? I gotta admit, I have never once used DoorDash. Just because I don't want to pay. Is it really, really expensive outside of the food itself? And also, I don't want my food to be cold. And so that's what I'm scared of. Erica, how are you doing? Nice to see you. Man. Nice to see Erica. One of the nicest people that you'll ever talk to. Okay. Ashton says never use DoorDash. Yeah, I've never felt the need to use it. Plus, where I live, there's like restaurants literally like right outside my front door everywhere. So I can just, I have a Tijuana Flats really close. I got a McDonald's really close. We used to have a Taco Bell, but they tore it down. But Tijuana Flats is much better than Taco Bell. So I digress. Double scoops. Here we go. Double scoops. I really hope that if we get a direct sequel to Halloween 4, they answer whether Rachel actually got Jamie the double scoops of ice cream or not. Biggest cliffhanger in that film. I have an answer to that. No. Because at the end of Halloween 4, Jamie was evil. So do you take your evil kid to go get double scoops? Or do you deal with that problem first? Right? So if I had to guess, it's pinging red again. Let me back up. If I had to guess, I'm going to have to talk lower. If I had to guess. It's weird. It's weird when I talk, it like, bing. I think I turned my settings up a little bit too high. So I'll talk lower. Talk like this. There we go. Yeah, if I had to guess, she did not get double scoops, because she was evil. And I think Rachel might have been afraid that Jamie would have killed her. Man, would you guys love to see a movie or even a short that takes place directly after, and it covers maybe the next day? Like what that next day was like. What did they do? Did they take her to the Smith's Grove? I just want to see what Jamie was doing directly after the credits rolled. Was she just standing up there and then they went and grabbed her? I don't know. Good stuff, though. Good stuff, though. Let's see. Nowak, he says, hey, just some constructive criticism and with the utmost respect, leaning away from your microphone while you take a drink would be greatly appreciated. You got it. Thank you so much. But what I'll do is I'll do this. Is that better? And you're right. I've put out a few clips, and I did get some complaining about the smacking. Okay, and I agree with you. When I'm watching a clip, I don't like it when I hear like sound effects that I don't want to hear outside of the actual dialogue, talking. So yeah, thank you for that. I do like constructive criticism, and I've used it in the past. I've adjusted things like way when I first started my channel. I didn't use like trailer clips in my videos for I think about a year, maybe a couple years, just because I think I was afraid of like copyright stuff. And this user, he was like, "Hey man, I really like your content, but I think it would be cool if you added maybe some trailer clips in there." And I was like, "Okay, it's not. I'm not getting rich off this, so fuck it, and I'll see what happens. I'll roll the dice." And so I started putting trailer clips, and still to this day I use trailer clips, and I rarely ever get dinged with a copyright claim. Every now and then, and I think even like if you use Universal's trailer clips, then yeah, that can happen. But even with Universal lately, I haven't been getting copyright claims. So yeah, so far it's been working pretty well. So no whack, thank you though. I really appreciate that because I'd hate to go through the rest of this stream smacking. Okay. Chris says, I like using video reference footage. It adds more depth to the video, I feel. Yeah, I like using like behind the scenes. Like I'll look up behind the scenes videos of, especially like older movies. I love throwing that stuff in there, guys, one of the funnest videos, if I can say that word, most fun videos I've ever done was I did a top 10 horror documentaries. And I loved that so much that was kind of the catalyst for me wanting to do my own documentaries, and I eventually did Scream and Halloween. I've always been a massive, massive fan of horror documentaries. Really just documentaries in general. When I would buy like a catalog release, and if it came with like a brand new updated documentary, man, that was just such a big selling point for me. And I would always want to buy those because sometimes even if I didn't like the movie that much, if there was some behind the scenes stories about that movie that I was really into, then like this is a bad example because I love the movie, but they had a great documentary on Blade Runner. And I love Blade Runner, but it was on, I think it was a kind of a hard documentary to get, but I was able to get it. The same with like Evil Dead, the One by One We Will Take You. Although I'm sure these documentaries are probably on YouTube somewhere, but sometimes you can't even get like a good quality doc on YouTube, So I like to have my documentaries in the best quality possible. If I remember after the stream though, I'll share that in the community page, my top 10 horror documentaries video. I put a lot into that video, and I enjoyed that. I really did. I love talking about documentaries. Okay, let's go to the next one. All right, this one is called Gerber Jason, the new Gerber baby. It's pretty self-explanatory. Houseplants. Now, I don't remember what this one is. Oh, yeah. The houseplants in your kitchen watching you put water in the coffee maker. Because don't we, I think the most neglected thing in life is probably doing your taxes too late and houseplants. And that's the way they look. Just keep that in mind. When you look at that houseplant, that's how it's looking at you. Okay? More, everybody loves the enchilada joke. Don't say 80s duets if you don't recognize these icons. And I had to comment on this one, and I put, not even a steaming shit could separate them. I took it to the lowest common denominator there, but I had to. I'd love to just decipher that freaking scene. Like, how did in the writer's room, how did they get to that? Let's make it to where she is serenading him while he is taking a dump, right? Hey, Polly, how are you doing? It's the weirdest. I guess it's so Friday the 13th, right? I don't know. Jesus. Okay. A couple more. This one's new contractor. Oh, Jesus. Hold on, guys. Oh, did you hear my ringtone? Every time I'm at work, when that my phone rings, everybody starts laughing because the Halloween theme says so much about me, right? Okay. Um, can you imagine if you're a contractor and you know, how did he not see that glass was frosted see-through? Or maybe he just didn't care. I don't know, but I wonder if anybody got fired, you know? Beth says, my friend has one of those modern homes and their bathroom has a frosted see-through door. It's uncomfortable. Yeah, I wouldn't go. I'd be like, can you point me to the nearest gas station? Because I am not using the bathroom unless I could lock the door and nobody could come in. But wow. I guess, yeah, if it's in your home and you have like one toilet in there, yeah, that's fine. But I mean, that's a business. That's crazy. But the funny thing is, the guy that's using the bath, I think that's a guy, he doesn't really seem to give a shit. No pun intended. He doesn't really seem to care, right? This is next level theater etiquette. And you guys have probably seen a lot of theater videos, you know, annoying moviegoers. Nobody's talked about this, I guarantee you. Okay, I'm about to break the mold. Here we go. Look at that. This guy used a laptop throughout a movie last night. Have you guys ever even heard of this? Forget the phone. Bringing an actual laptop to a movie. You know, luckily it wasn't crowded, but somebody was sitting behind him, obviously. That would be annoying. I don't even like seeing a phone light up in a theater. But a laptop? That's crazy. That's insane. That takes balls. Yeah. That's weird. Yeah, he's recording the movie. Of all the things to use to record it. Guys, little physical media talk for you. And this is nothing new, but I mean, this is the current trend of, the rise in physical media prices. That is the 28 days and 28 weeks later. And I believe, and I think at least one of those movies, the first one, 28 Days Later, is not even available on streaming anywhere because it's a rights issue, I guess. And somebody bought the rights to the movie from Sony. And so they're not releasing it anywhere. So when 28 years later comes out, you know, I asked this question the other day in my community, I think. Is this movie going to be available? Like, are they going to re-release these? It won't be that easy to re-release 28 days later because, again, somebody owns the movie. 28 weeks, maybe. But, yeah, that's pretty crazy. $194 for those movies. And, you know, we've seen physical media prices going up exponentially in new releases. Like the Steelbook for Deadpool and Wolverine was, I think, like $70. That's insane to me. I didn't buy that. I'm not going to pay $70 for, I did pay $70 for this. Let me show you. I haven't even did a video on it after I got it, but yeah. Here, let me go to the main screen. Yeah, look at that. Trick or Treat. I paid $70 for that, but this is a boutique release. This is a niche title that wasn't available beforehand on 4K or Blu-ray, and I'm just such a massive fan of this movie. I actually bought 2 of them because they had 3 different covers, and so I bought 2 of the covers. I still haven't even opened the other one. I will eventually. I mean, I don't really need to because I have this one. But I think on eBay the last time I checked, these were like $150. They might have went down a little bit, guys. If you want this movie on 4K, they are releasing a standard edition, I think, with a slipcover sometime next year. So this was a limited run, though. I think they only did like 666 of each of them, or all together. I don't know. But I guess just to show you. And I watched it too. I couldn't believe how good this movie looked. Kind of got like an Arrow video packaging. What was this, like Synapse? Yeah, Synapse. But comes with this book. Yeah, man, Sammy Kurt, look at that freaking image. Jesus, that is awesome. And it looks like it came with this poster too. Hold on. I haven't even looked at this. I guess this is the poster that was on Ragman's wall. Yeah. Great stuff. Great stuff. But yeah, freaking physical media prices, man. They're really they're going insane. And I was gonna cover a story. You know what? I'll go ahead and do that since we're here. Give me a second. Let's go over to news, and we're going to talk about LG just went. Here we go. Hold on. They just stopped making LG players, like Blu-ray players over at LG. Let me see. New window. Let me see if I can figure out how to move this thing. Nope. Let me see. Hold on. Maximize. There we go. And LG. Here we go. And let me go over here. There we go. LG, one of the last holdouts, ceases production of Blu-ray players. This is pretty groundbreaking. This is insane. And I think this might be the I don't want to use the word death nail, but as far as this is moving physical media from to a niche market, pretty much. That's what this is doing. It's moving it from the what's the word I'm looking for? Right, it's moving it to a niche market. Right, it's not the God damn it, I can't think of the word. But yeah, LG, one of the last holdouts, ceases production. It's not mainstream. That's the word I was looking for. It's not mainstream. It's moved it to a niche market now. Let me read through this real quick with you guys. And I was watching John Campea. He was talking about this, and he stated he does not have a single player in his home. If he had a disc, he could not play it. Everything is digital in his home now. Do you guys, give me a yes or a no. Do you guys have any type of player? Have any of you went straight to just all digital and you have no players in your home? I would wager that most of you have a player. right? I would even say maybe like 99% of you have a player in your home. But yeah, I mean, some people, they're doing, and I think maybe it's a space thing too. Like downstairs in my living room, you don't see any physical media. Everything is in I have it in like drawers, or I have it in like a bench. I like to keep everything kind of hidden away. The only physical media you'll see is up here in my studio. But I have a player in every single room. I have a 3D Blu-ray player in my guest room over there. Downstairs, I got a 4K player. In my bedroom, I got a Blu-ray player. In here, I got a Blu-ray player. With my TV. Yeah, so Jamie Hart says, no way, I have a 4K player in my PS5 and a Blu-ray player in my studio. Yeah. And I will always be a champion of physical media. I love the way it looks. I can see the difference. But digital does look great. It does look great. But I like literally owning movies that I want to own. And if you buy it on digital, you don't necessarily own it. Now, is there a chance that movie's going to be there readily available for you at the end of time, to the end of your life? Yes, of course there is. I'm not being silly here. But I'm just stating that I guess physical gives you the foolproof, that option, the foolproof option, right? If the power goes out, well, you're not going to watch anything anyway because the power's out. But if the internet goes down, you have your players, you can watch something, okay? And I've had that happen a couple times. I live in hurricane land, so yeah. And it's nice to have the Blu-ray as a backup. Chris says, I buy physical for favorites and cool new editions of stuff I like. I buy digital for everything else. I love both. Yeah. And, to kind of back Chris up there, I used to buy a lot. Now I buy very little. If it's this, then yeah. When I saw that they announced Trick or Treat, Dawn of the Dead, stuff like that I gotta have, yeah, I'm gonna buy that. To be honest though, guys, mainstream titles, I just don't buy them. As much as I love movies that have come out in 2024, I still haven't bought. I don't think I bought a single new release movie this year. I haven't even bought Maxine. I haven't even bought it because, and I talked about this a couple streams ago. The second I think about buying something, boom, it's on digital for free. I saw the price for Deadpool and Wolverine. Because I did consider buying that, but then I was like, $70, no. And then boom, here comes Disney Plus on the 12th of, I think it was November. You can watch it right there if you're a member of Disney Plus. So I think digital, that's kind of the way that they're trying to push people to the other side that don't necessarily want to come to the other side, right? I think that's what's happening here. And this right here, LG ceases production of Blu-ray players. This is another way that they're getting you to give up physical media and go digital. So let's read through this real quick. One of the last major electronics companies still manufacturing Blu-ray players has hit stop, or at least pause for now, on its two remaining devices. LG will no longer manufacture those brands, which it introduced back in 2018. Both devices play regular Blu-ray discs as well as 4K discs in addition to CDs. Blah, 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 blah. The reason that they did this was because of the demand. People were not buying the players. If you read through that, that's what that's gonna sum it up for you. People were not buying the players. And they stated that, they will restock them and resell them if the demand is there. If people start, knocking down their door saying, oh, I need to buy this. If there's enough of an interest, they'll do it. My guess though, guys, they're not doing it. It's going to be a niche type thing, I think, from this point out. There are a couple of players. I think Sony was one of them. And there was one other. I can't remember. You can read the article. You can find out for yourself. that still is making. But the dominoes are falling, and eventually none of the major companies are going to be selling these players. Now there's going to be these like niche cultish type companies that are going to sell. So I think you'll always be able to buy Blu-ray players and 4K players, but the prices are going to go up. I have two VCRs. Hey guys, how many of you, Jeff New, how are you doing? How many of you have a VCR in your home? I literally have two of them. I have one sitting next to Jolene over there, and I got a backup one sitting in my closet over there. And one of my friends, Gabe, sent me this beautiful Zenith VCR, and the picture looks gorgeous on it. I love having a VCR, but like Aaron says, there are no VCR anymore. Most people don't have VCRs, and 10 years from now, the Blu-ray player will be the VCR. Beth says we have like 5 VCRs, a couple for backup. Yeah, and I think that's what a lot of people that really love this stuff, this retro, they have to have at least more than one, so they have a backup. That's why I have my backup. And I don't see my VCR, my Zenith over there, I don't see it going out anytime soon. It's a beast. It's a beast. I wish I had one of those that the deck top pops out of the top, like back in the early 80s. I used to love those. I did have a beta machine that I bought at like a pawn shop, and that thing was freaking like 100 pounds. It's crazy. But yeah, this is just another check mark, another timestamp for the death of physical media. I haven't done a death of physical media clip in a while, so this will be like the latest. But there's a lot of us out there that are, we're folding our arms and we're saying it'll never die. And I'm just being realistic. It's never going to die. As long as there are people that are into retro, like me, it's always going to be around. But I think the key here is it's not going to be as readily accessible. And it's going to be a lot more expensive in the future than it was in the past. It's moving to a niche market. That's what's happening. So, and if you got the money and if you love this stuff, then eventually it'll be there. Now, reading Beth's comment here, vinyl never died, but it did get a niche for many years. And then look at the comeback that they made. She is absolutely right. Vinyl came back stronger than ever, and I believe vinyl actually outsells CDs and any other musical format right now. It's the number one musical format, and I think that's a big thing because of digital. And I'm talking physical, okay? Of course it's not beating digital, but a physical format, vinyl's number one now for music. And I think it's going to stay number one for a long time. A lot of artists like Taylor Swift, oh my God, she has figured out a way to have a stream of cash flow through vinyl because she will create like 5 different versions of her albums. And vinyl's great because you open it up and it's got all like, I like my Rob Zombie's Halloween 2. I moved all my vinyls into my bedroom, but my Rob Zombie's Halloween 2, when you open up that thing, you could spend like freaking a good 5-10 minutes just kind of looking through everything. And that's the nice thing about vinyl. So retro, there's just a kind of a romantic thing about retro. It's nice to literally like sit down, pick it up, look at it, touch it. Yeah, it's awesome. You can't really do that with digital, and digital has a place. When I went for my run this morning. I pulled up my phone, pulled up my Spotify, got my playlist, Drumdums Jams, went to town, and that is better than back in the day when I used to have one of those Sony Discman and the Walkman before that. And you got to freaking load the CD in there and you play it. And when you're running, you're hoping the anti-skip isn't bullshit. It is so much nicer to be able to pull that phone up and just pull up Spotify, never a skip. So, yeah. It has its place. It definitely has its place. There's room for all formats, for sure. Okay. So, you know what? We're jumping into news now. Let me close that window. And I want to jump over to this one. It's over on this other one here. You know what I'm going to do is I'm just going to copy and paste. Yeah. We're going to talk about the box office here for a sec. Oh, I went over to the wrong window. Yeah, here we go. Yeah, here we go. Box office. Kraven the Hunter crashes with record worst Sony Spider-Man debut. Moana 2 and Wicked continue to dominate. Those kids' movies, I tell you, they are killing at the box office right now. I was curious because I knew Kraven was going to go below projections, but it set a record and not a good type of record, right? So let's read through this real quick. My guy there that was all about Kraven, I don't think Kraven's coming back in a Spider-Man movie, if I'm being honest. If it does, good for him. But update, here we go. Kraven the Hunter's projections slide 1 million lower than Saturday estimates. This article was originally written Saturday a.m. and has been updated Sunday a.m. with up-to-date box office projections in bold. So, Kraven the Hunter has hit a record franchise low in its opening weekend. The J.C. Chandor directed movie, which follows a hunter who uses his bond with animals to help get revenge on his criminal father, is the latest installment in Sony's Spider-Man universe, which includes the commercially successful Venom trilogy as well as the critical and commercial flops Morbius and Madam Web. The Kraven the Hunter cast includes Aaron Taylor Johnson, Ariana DeBose, Fred Heschinger, Alessandro Nivola, Christopher Abbott, and Russell Crowe. I did not expect Christopher Abbott to be in that movie. Per Variety, here we go. As of Sunday morning, Kraven the Hunter is projected to close out its opening weekend with a three-day domestic gross of $11 million. Holy shit. Wow. I wonder how much they spent on that movie. This is not enough for the movie to topple the holdover Thanksgiving hits Moana 2 and Wicked, which maintained their positions at the top of the chart, letting the Spider-Man Universe movie land at number 3 in its debut. Additionally, it has earned the worst opening weekend of the entire franchise, coming in below the previous record holder, which was Madam Web with a $15.3 million debut. I don't need to read anymore. This weekend's other release, the anime prequel Lord of the Rings, War of the Rohirrim, has also underperformed. I'm not surprised on that one. So, wow, guys. I got a question for you, okay? If you have seen, and I don't know if there's even that many of you in there that saw this movie, but if you saw this movie, can you let me know which one do you prefer, okay? Because I thought about this over the last couple of days. Do you prefer Kraven the Hunter or Madam Web? Okay, if you saw this movie, Kraven the Hunter or Madam Web. Movies and Us, thank you. I hope you're well too. Troy the Ice Cream McClure, you might remember me from such hit. Budget was $100, not including marketing. Yeah, I believe it. Wow. All right, so I'll give you my answer. I think the clear winner is Madam Web. Now, Madam Web is horrible. It's an easy 3.5 out of 10. Okay? Scott Lauderdale, how you doing, brother? I prefer Madam Web, the Hunter, and Kraven Web. And the reason I prefer Madam Web is because I can sit through it and at least kind of laugh at it. You know, I think it's a little lighter in tone. There are some attempts at comedy in that movie that if they don't land, you might get a little bit of a chuckle, right? Kraven the Hunter is like watching paint dry. It is just bland. And the moments of bloody action, and those moments are few, do not make up for it whatsoever. It's just, I like I said earlier, I really had a tough time. I struggled through that movie. Guys, I'd like to keep you guys involved. What was the last movie you watched that it was so boring, you just struggled to get through it? Like, oh my God, I can't take this anymore, you know? What was the last movie that did that to you? Doesn't even have to be new, okay? Maybe it was a little older movie that you felt like giving a chance. Some of you might say, and I think The Exorcist 2, The Heretic. I know Beth loves that movie. I've been meaning to give it another watch, and if I do, I'm going to review it, okay? But I did try to give The Exorcist 2, The Heretic, another watch probably about a decade ago. And it was tough. It was tough. I could not hold on, you know? And I was like clinging. Give me something. And it just did not happen. Strangers Chapter 1, yes. Yes. In a Violent Nature, yes. That's a great answer. Five Nights at Freddy's movie, yes. I completely agree. Dune 2, I love Dune 2, but I understand that answer. I definitely understand that answer. It is a long movie, and there are quite a few moments where it is kind of dry. It does pick up. I think when Austin Butler comes on screen, that's when you sit up and you stay with it, you know? Not to take anything from Timothée Chalamet, he is great once Austin Butler comes on screen. Timothée Chalamet is great in the movie. I love the movie. It's one of my favorite movies of the year, but it is long, and I understand if people don't like it. Okay? Red Comet, Exorcist, Believer, or Dominion. Yes. Oof, both those are tough. Both those are tough. Linda says, older movie, but The Ring was so unbearably boring. You know, and I haven't seen The Ring in quite a few years, Linda. Long time. Pearl was that for me, Big Rod. T says, Blow Up. I really wanted to like that movie, but nope. Blow Up. I don't recognize that one. Chris says, I feel that way with Rings and The Ring 2, but The Ring 2 was that way for me. I liked The Ring, but The Ring 2, that one was tough. That one was definitely tough. Said it before, guys. The worst crime a movie can make is to be boring. All right? Don't bore me. All right. Let's go to the next news story. So we can close this one out. And you know what? Let's go ahead and jump into I Know What You Did Last Summer. Here we go. This is a big one. Are you excited for this, guys? Are you a fan of the I Know What You Did Last Summer movies? I'm glad I gave the second one another watch. I really enjoyed both those first two movies, and I might even prefer 2 over 1, if I'm being honest. Oh my God, Skinamarink is boring. Oh, hell yeah. Jesus. Another paint dry movie. Yeah, you know, I think Scream, and let me know if you think I'm wrong on this, but I think Scream helped I Know What You Did Last Summer. Like, I think if that movie came out first before Scream, it would have just been like a casual movie, I think. I don't think it had that it factor, that edge, I guess, that the first Scream had. It's serviceable. It's not a bad movie. And I do like the look of the Hook Killer, for sure. There's some beautiful cinematography in both the I Know movies. And I like Jennifer Love Hewitt. You know, she was a big star back then. I just think it did get a little bit of a boost from Scream. It feels like Scream. It really does. As it should. So, you know, I'm glad those movies exist. They're really fun, but I don't think it's going to have... Like, I think Scream 7 will give I Know What You Did Last Summer, the new movie. And you know what, guys? I'm calling it right now. They're going to call that movie I Know What You Did Last Summer. Because that's the thing to do now. Scream 5 was called Scream. There's a couple other cases like where they... Halloween. Yeah, Halloween's been called Halloween 3 times. You know, it's the thing to do with requels now. And I guarantee you this movie's just going to be called I Know What You Did Last Summer. If it hasn't been announced yet. Okay? Sean Sheridan says, I'm actually excited. I still know it's bad, but it has a charm to it. It's Scream. Yeah, it does. It definitely has a charm. I like the story too. You know, it is an interesting story. I think one of the interesting things about it is the Hook Killer in the first movie. he's an older guy. You know, this is almost like what they did in Halloween 2018, where Myers is older in age. That's what the Hook Killer is. You know, they could even do. They'd have to work this out in the story, but they could even do like a prequel that was set like in the 70s. I'm thinking out loud here, and this actually sounds like a fucking awesome idea. What if they did a prequel to I Know What You Did Last Summer set in the 70s with great set design and everything? You know, the cars, the houses, the freaking 70s appliances. And the Hook Killer, we never knew it, but he was actually killing back in the 70s. That would be freaking cool, I think. And I think I would be more excited about that than this new one. I think the big pull about this new one is the return of Julie James. You know, Jennifer Love Hewitt, I'm talking star power here. She's no Neve Campbell when we're in our horror sandbox, okay? Outside of horror, she's still probably no Neve Campbell. Neve Campbell's working. She's got a TV career. So, but I think Jennifer Love Hewitt's still doing TV too. I know she's had a few different TV show hits. So they're both close, right? They're both close. But let's read through this story. Jennifer Love Hewitt confirms return for new I Know What You Did Last Summer movie at Sony. We've been waiting for her to confirm that she's in it. We knew that the movie was coming, but now we have news. Jennifer Love Hewitt has closed a deal to reprise her role as Julie James in the upcoming I Know What You Did Last Summer movie at Sony, directed by Jennifer Caton Robinson. Hewitt joins previously announced cast Freddie Prinze Jr., who also returns to the horror franchise. Chase Sui Wonders, Madeline Klein, Sarah Pigeon, and a bunch of other people. Sony Pictures will release the film in theaters July 18th, so we have a release date. And I think that's, let's see. The original I Know What You Did Last Summer followed 4 young, so they're just going through the, we don't need to read that. Okay. Man, I had a topic teed up in my head about this. What was it? Damn it. Let me pull you guys up so I can see. Let me see what you guys think. Okay? Let me see what you guys think. All right. Do we know what they do that? Keep the name the same? Is it for a new, younger audience? Yeah, I think that's what it is. But it is confusing to people when they're like searching up the movie. Like Halloween, they search Halloween 2018 because that's how you zero in on it. Remember in I Still Know, they talked about Ben Willis' backstory where he killed his wife on the island. I want that movie. Yes, Chris. Good point. That does not sound good, Rick Michaels. It took me years to get the charm of I Know What You Did Last Summer. No, it's a comfort movie, and I love that beginning with typo negative. Yeah, for sure. One thing about I Know What You Did Last Summer is that it's a July 4th movie. But for some reason, and maybe when I'm watching it clicks for me and it feels like a summer movie, but for some reason in my mind, because of the atmosphere of the movie, it feels like a fall movie to me. I mean, am I wrong on that, guys? There's something about that movie that it feels like it could be cold there, because maybe they're near the water and all that. And I think is it the Northeast? I think so yeah, I don't know. And then the second movie is like during a freaking hurricane, which I loved, so I don't know. It's a weird thing. I got to meet Muse Watson, I know Killer, at an autism fundraiser. Very nice man. Yeah, I saw him on. I think he tagged my I did an update I think a couple of years ago on this, and Muse Watson, I think he tagged my video or something like that on Facebook, and I was like, that's cool. That's cool. It does feel chilly, maybe more of a spring vibe. Yeah, for sure. Damn it, what was I going to say? I hate that. Getting old sucks, guys. I can't see. That's why I freaking have to have these freaking glasses now. But yeah, I'm not going to waste your time. I do think I'm looking forward to this movie. I'm hoping that it's great. It's going to be really fun to see Jennifer Love Hewitt back. She definitely has star power. She was definitely the best thing about those movies. Oh, I know what I was going to say. I prefer Urban Legend over I Know What You Did Last Summer. I like both movies, but I think I much prefer Urban Legend. What do you guys think? Let me know. Do you like Urban Legend better, Urban Legend, or I Know? Let me know down in the comments or the chat. And you guys are awesome, by the way. Having such a blast with you guys. So, you think Brandy is going to show up? She wants in. I think she should definitely show up. I loved Brandy in the second movie. Linda loves Urban Legend. I do. Every time I watch Urban Legend, I have a fantastic time with that movie. It is really fun. I do enjoy both movies, though. And I love, spoiler alert, I love, is it Brenda Bates? The killer in Urban Legend? She is one of the most underrated. That's the problem with whodunits, is because we go out of our way to try to not spoil it for people that might not have seen it. I think it can hurt the icon status of those killers. Sure, you're going to have like your Billies and Stews that break out of that mold, because they're just so bright. But I think Brenda Bates, I think she is like 90s icon status. And I wish she had, I guess, much more love than she gets. And I think people they want to keep that secret, because it is such a great reveal. I never guessed that she was the killer in Urban Legend. So, yeah. All right, let's go to the next story. And I think this will be the last story, guys. Let's see. Scream 7. Scream 7. And I have an image here. Let me pull it up. Oh, yeah, that's what we started doing 28 years later. Do I dare even? I think we'll skip 28 years later. Yeah, here we go. Confirmed cast. So, yeah. So I actually took that image and put the names on there so everybody knows. But, yeah, that is your confirmed cast so far. You got Neve Campbell, Courtney Cox returning. McKenna Grace, I'm really excited about. I love her. I loved her in the Ghostbusters movies, the new ones. Even though I don't really care for the new movies, she is the best part of those movies. Isabel May, I'm not really familiar with her work. I've seen Asa Germain. I've seen him in other things for sure, and I've definitely seen Celeste O'Connor. She was in Madam Web. So I think you got a strong cast here that could make for a really fun movie. And I think it's good that they're getting people excited, releasing, casting information. And I'm not seeing as much Melissa Barrera drama posts as I used to. And I think they're marketing this team quite well, this movie quite well, right? I think they're playing it smart. If you go on X, there's so many like Scream 7 fan pages on there that you can follow. You just type in hashtag Scream 7 and they'll just, and that's where I found this image and I just added the names to it myself. But you can see the excitement out there, and I'm getting really excited now, I think, for Scream 7. I'm looking forward to seeing what they do with this movie. Neve Campbell has stated that she is the main character for the first time since Scream 4 in this movie. That's exciting to me. We all love Sydney, and it's nice to see her back. Do I think that Sam and Tara will eventually come back in the franchise? I'm 50-50 on it. If they never do, I wouldn't be surprised. There might be some like salted wounds out there, and anger, and Melissa Barrera might never come back. As time goes by, she might be like, screw it. Although I do think she has mentioned that in time she'd be open to coming back, but I think under a different regime, which I don't think that's ever going to change. Spyglass ain't letting go of this baby. Those movies make way too much money. So I think the only way that Sam can get back in here is if she has a sit down with the brass over at Spyglass, and they come to some, because I think it would be big. Like, this movie comes out, it's a big hit, it's a crowd pleaser. The next movie, Scream 8, comes out. Can you imagine if Sydney's in Scream 8 and then you bring back Sam and Tara? I don't know if Jenna Ortega would ever come back. I think she would if Melissa Barrera does. But I think that, everybody loves kind of a comeback story, people coming back together. And I think that's what would happen. I think people would there'd be a big smile on everybody's face, big kumbaya moment. Everybody's back together. Let's make a fun, and let's make Stu the killer. I'm telling you right now, that's what's going to happen in Scream 8. Stu's going to be the killer. Sam and Tara are going to be back. Sydney, there's no way they're killing off Sydney and Gail. They're staying for life, okay? Can they introduce some supernatural aspect and dig up Dewey and bring him back to life? Could that happen? And would we accept that? Would we get pissed off if they did that? I wouldn't, because I love Dewey. I think Dewey would be great if he came back. What do you guys think? Let me know. It's fun talking about Scream. Yes, Erica. Yes. Bring Stu back. I don't know why people are so resistant about Stu not coming back. And it seems like the only reason is because they think he's dead in a genre that constantly brings killers back that should never have come back. And these aren't even supernatural killers. So I don't get the big hang up with he can't be alive. Yes, he can. Yes, in horror, we can bring him back. It can happen. All right? So bring him back. I think that would be such a massive... Can you imagine, guys? Can you imagine? I've said this before. Even the naysayers, they're sitting in the theater. They're eating their popcorn. Third act happens. Out comes Ghostface. He takes his mask off. It's a scarred, bloody Stu. Here's the reaction that those naysayers, because they wouldn't be able to control it. Here is the I'm gonna act it out for you right now, okay? Here is the reaction from those naysayers that do not want Dewey to come back, okay? Dewey walks in, Ghostface takes off the mask, bloody, scarred face, all right? This is them eating popcorn. Holy shit! Yes! That's what they'll do. I guarantee you that's what they would do. And then they would stop themselves because they'd be like, oh shit, I wasn't supposed to like that. But they'd be so overcome with emotion and joy that they would just freak out. I guarantee you it would be the biggest crowd pleaser ever. Now, it's up to the movie to make it worth it, when that happens. But, I tell you, I would love it if Stu came back. It would give this franchise the swift kick in the balls that it needed, the final act balls. I got so excited. I got excited just thinking about it. I knocked over my trick or treat, damn it. Yeah. Aaron says, I guess I'm against it because Scream has thus far kept a fairly realistic vibe, aside from some very crazy outlier. Realistic, Aaron? Have you seen Scream 6? I think I know what you're going for, but I don't think realistic is the word. I think there's a better word in there for it. And I think continuity plays a part in that because they've kept continuity throughout and I love that. I think it's great that they've kept continuity. But I don't think realistic is the right word because up till Scream 6, I think it was realistic. But Scream 6 jumped the shark big time. Big time. And I've said this so many times before. What they did with Chad was just insanity. Insanity. There's no freaking way in hell he would have lived. And it wasn't even that. It wasn't even that. It was the fact that none of the core four and Gail, none of them died. And to me, and that's fine if they're not going to die, but don't put them in a situation, and you did like at least, I think, 3 of them, put them in a situation where they probably would have died, and you didn't kill one of them, okay? And let's say you killed Gail, right? Or let's say you killed Mindy. You could freaking stab Chad, 90 times, and if he lived, I'd be like, well, they killed Mindy, so okay, I'll give it a pass. But because they killed nobody, my eyes were literally rolling circles in my head. You know? So, bring Stu back, damn it! All right, let's read through this article. Hold on. Scream is a really fun franchise to talk about. Even if you like have problems with it, it is a really fun franchise to discuss. It is. Because there's just so much going on. There's so many avenues they can take, more than any other franchise. You can go hog wild in Scream, And I think maybe that's why they've not kicked the doors open as hard as they could have. They give us some nice surprises here and there. And 6 did have some nice surprises. Like, I love that opening act. When they had a reveal in the opening act of the movie, I was like, oh shit, here we go. That's the Scream I want, So that's what I want more of, I guess. Scream 7's growing cast adds the Fabelman star in unknown role. And this guy, I didn't have him listed, but the ever-growing cast roster for Scream 7 continues to expand, this time with a Fabelman's star joining the long-running horror franchise, set to be directed by franchise creator Kevin Williamson. The next Scream movie is currently expected to arrive in theaters in February of 2026, featuring the return of franchise veteran Neve Campbell. Other confirmed Scream 7 cast members include Isabel May, Asa Germain, Celeste O'Connor, and McKenna Grace. Meanwhile, Patrick Dempsey has also been approached to return. He'll come back as Detective Mark Kincaid, but his involvement is yet to be confirmed. According to Deadline, the list of actors officially confirmed to be joining Scream 7 cast has now increased to include the Fabelman star Sam Rechner. As of yet, no details have emerged about which character Rechner may be playing, and the only confirmed role, aside from Campbell's Sidney Prescott, is one of her daughters, set to be played by May. I do like that they're bringing Sidney's daughters into this. What the latest casting means for Scream 7. The franchise's newest stars will have to make up for the missing Carpenter sisters. Originally intended to feature the return of Melissa Barrera and Jenna Ortega's Carpenter sisters, the plans for Scream 7 undertook a major shakeup in the wake of the former controversial firing. However, it's expected that the next Scream could potentially seek to make up for the loss of the Carpenter sisters by replacing them with Sidney's own children as the franchise's newest generation leads. Are you guys fine with that? Replacing the Carpenter sisters with Sidney's daughters? I guess it depends on how it all plays out, right? Our take on who Sam Rechner could play in Scream 7. I'm going to call it right now and say Sam Rechner will be the killer. What do you guys think? He just has the look of the killer, right? As a horror franchise that is synonymous with playing on established horror tropes and genre references, it is likely that both of Sidney's daughters, reaching a similar age to what she was during her first Ghostface experience, will be central to Scream 7's plot. As such, Williamson may also intend to introduce characters that are direct analogs to Skeet Ulrich's Billy Loomis and Matthew Lillard's Stu Macher. With this in mind, Rechner could be playing one of the school friends or even potential boyfriend of Sidney's daughter. And that relationship may be heavily impacted by her own past trauma. Yet, while Rechner and Germain could potentially find themselves playing Scream 7's new Billy and Stu, it would be far too predictable for them to repeat the past and be revealed as the new Ghostface killers as well. Instead, Williamson likely has another shocking twist planned, though audiences will need to wait until early 2026 to discover exactly who will be the next one under Ghostface's iconic mask. Exciting stuff, guys. I think Rechner's going to be the killer, and I think both those will be the killer. But this is Kevin Williamson we're talking about. He still has that the writing juice. He did Sick, which I thought was really good. So he still has a way with the pen, and I think he's going to have some nice surprises for us in this movie. But yeah, man, it could just go so many different ways. I want to read what you guys are saying. Let's see. Hold on. Mickey says this franchise needs to end. As long as they make money, it's not going anywhere. And Scream has a phenomenal fan base, and I think I don't think Scream's fan base is as toxic as Halloween's fan base. Would you guys agree with that? Dude says, very glad the core 4 are gone. They were rather annoying. Tara was a decent character, but the rest were lame. Retchner looks like he could be Cotton's son. Oh my God, dude. You are so right. He definitely looks like he could be Cotton's son. I love that. What if he was Cotton's son? Oh my God. I guarantee you Kevin Williamson's going to be drawing from the first 3 movies. I think you're going to see winks and nods to the first 3 movies in this new movie for sure. This is exciting. Erica says, it looks like a duck and walks like a duck. Like when Randy asked Stu after Billy got all up in his face in creeper mode, you're going to tell me that's not a killer? Exactly, Erica. Let's see. Chris, it's tired. Who else do we got? Linda says, Kevin is still only directing though. Right? Not right. Yes, you're right. Thank you, Linda. That I'm sure he will kind of oversee the writing, and I'm sure he will provide his own notes, maybe ghost writing. But yeah, guys, what's Chris? What's the writers' names? I remember it all the time, but when I'm streaming, it's not right there. Okay. Is it Guy Busick? Guy Busick and littering and yeah, somebody will tell me, okay? Guy Busick and somebody else. The female ghost faces in the costume never show their chest region. That would give them away. Instead, they get some 6-foot-tall stuntman playing the female ghost face, which is annoying. Yeah, and of course, the Phantom is referring to Scream 5 when Dewey died. And Amber was about 2 feet shorter than, what was it? Was it Richie? Yeah. Yeah. Tyler Gilt? Guy Busick, but I can't remember the others. Same writers as 5 and 6, though. Yeah. I love reading your... James Vanderbilt, I believe. I think you're right, Linda. I think you're right. Man. I really like reading you guys' comments. You guys always have really good comments. Man. Okay, so I guess that's it for the Scream news. What do you guys want to talk about? Okay, we could do it like a little Q&A or something like it. I can't believe we started at 12:30, 1:32. So it feels like we've been going longer, but we've only been going an hour and a half. It's been really, really fun. I guess we could do that. Do you guys want to do the 28 days later or 28 years later story? It's basically about that's not Cillian Murphy. That's pretty much the story. We can read through it if you want. I think most of you probably already know, though. Scream needs to inject creative plot points. Like maybe someone knows a friend is the killer, doesn't help the killer, but has a beef with all the victims. So he or she doesn't report it. Yeah, I like that. I like the idea that the killer is revealed, kind of like Scream 6, in the first act. He kills somebody, but then he's the killer for the rest of the movie. And we don't know maybe who the second killer is. That's kind of the surprise. That's a way you could really kind of mix things up. Another option, I think, is the killers get away with it at the end and you never see their faces. It could be one of those situations where the audience... And guys, let me know which you would prefer. Okay? Walk with me here. Let's just say we have 2 killers at the end of Scream 7, right? They get away with it. Now, which would you prefer? Would you prefer the audience, we see who the killers are. There's a reveal at the end, but they get away with it and we don't, like the main characters, the protagonists, they don't see who the killers are. There's no reveal to the main characters, the protagonists. But, so it leads you into Scream 8. And it truly makes Scream 7 and Scream 8 kind of one movie, right? And kind of like that whole Halloween 1 and Halloween 2 being kind of one movie. I would love if Scream took that approach and tied 2 movies together beautifully, with the same killer crossing over both movies. I think that would be so cool. Mickey says Randy comes back from the dead. What the hell? It doesn't matter at this point. Brooke likes my idea. Thank you, Brooke. I want the Scream 3 voice changer brought back. Speaking of the voice changer, Phantom, you bring up a good point. Roger L. Jackson is not getting any younger. And you can already hear his voice. It's kind of like the whole James Earl Jones effect. You can already hear the changes in his voice. What are they going to do with... Are they going to get like a sound-alike guy? Like sit down the road. Let's just say Roger L. Jackson can't do Scream 8, right? Because he's old. He's up there in age. Are they going to get some guy that sounds like, kind of like they did with Loomis and H2O? Or the dreaded AI? You know? Who knows? I guess we'll cross that bridge when we get there, right? Linda says this could be different and fun. Ashton says, I like that idea. Thank you. Yeah, I think it'd be a fun idea. I like the idea of, this. I think I would like to know who the killer is at the end of the movie without the, protagonist knowing. And then going into the 8th movie, we know who the killer is. But then there's some more surprises down the line. I think that'd be kind of cool. And I think it satisfies the audience enough to tie them over until the next movie. Because I think if you go to the end of 7 and they get away with it and we don't know who the killer is, yeah, that's cool. But I think there will be a sense of incompletion at the end of the movie. You got to satisfy your audience. You got to give them something. At least give them one of the killers, right? I don't know. So, yeah. Polly says, I just can't get into the killer's justification. What's next? Sydney took a shit and it stank. So now I have to go on a killing spree. What? Polly, what are you doing? That's wild. You know what? Let's read through this 28. Let me go topical slides. Yeah. Here is the plot synopsis, just in case you guys need to. The plot synopsis for 28 years later. Okay. It's been almost 3 decades since the rage virus escaped from a biological weapons laboratory. Still living in a ruthlessly enforced quarantine, some have found ways to exist amid the infected. One such group of survivors lives on a small island connected to the mainland by a single, heavily defended causeway. When one of them decides to venture into the dark heart of the mainland, he soon discovers a mutation that has spread to not only the infected, but other survivors as well. I think this is sort of like what they did in 28 Weeks Later with the kids venturing out and then they found their mother. Man, I love 28 Weeks Later. I love 28 Days Later. But I'm glad that Danny Boyle is back doing this movie. I would wager that Cillian Murphy is going to show up in there somewhere. Let me go over to the story here. Yeah, here we go. Identity of Cillian Murphy zombie in 28 years later. Trailer confirmed. When the first trailer for the new horror movie 28 years later was unveiled this week, fans thought they'd spotted the original star of the series, Cillian Murphy, in a very unexpected role. In one clip, a collection of dead zombies are propped up like scarecrows, and one bears a striking resemblance to Murphy. When you're that thin, you can kind of bear a striking resemblance to anybody, because remember the movie 7? When they found the guy that had been starved to death for like a year. He's got all the what do you call those? The air fresheners hanging from. He looked like that. Anybody that's that thin is going to have kind of a similar appearance, right? So I immediately, when I saw the trailer and then when I heard people talking about this, I was like, no, that's not him. They're not going to do Cillian Murphy's character like that, first of all. And B, they're not even going to dangle that carrot in the trailer. They're not going to make. They're not. Even if he's in the movie, they're not going to show him in the trailer if it's meant to be a surprise, right? I don't know if they thought that the internet would go wild and think that was actually Cillian Murphy. I wonder if they did. Maybe. I don't know. But it's good for the marketing because it got the people talking, and they delivered one of the best trailers I have seen in years. And let me know if you guys agree with me on that. That is how you do a trailer. The Irish actor who won Best Actor at this year's Oscars for Oppenheimer played the lead character Jim in the original film 28 Days Later, which quickly became a cult hit when it was released in 2002. By the way, guys, I've done a full commentary on 28 Days Later. I did it a few years ago. You can, if you search it up, you can find it, but I'll probably put a link to it in the info box. Fan reaction of Twitter to Murphy's alleged cameo in the sequel was mixed, with one person writing, "Oh God, finally. Was not expecting Cillian Murphy to come back like that. I'm shook." However, it has now been reported the actor playing emaciated infected in 28 Years Later is not the Oppenheimer star, but a newcomer called Angus Neal, The Guardian reports. Neal came to be in the film after he was talent spotted by the film's director, Danny Boyle, who was struck by the art dealer and model's distinctive looks. Danny told me he'd always had me in mind for the role, Neal told The Guardian, so we met up, hit it off, and I agreed to take part. And there's what he looks like. And anybody that's that thin, I think their face is going to have kind of similar, sunk in cheekbones. And yeah. So he continued on set. He has an extraordinary ability to hypnotize you, and working with him on the film was a very, very intense experience. No prizes for guessing, but the new film takes place 28 years later after the first outbreak of the rage virus, and looks at how the survivors are coping in the infected post-apocalyptic landscape. I'm a huge fan of this IP, this franchise. I like how different it is from normal zombie movies. These are infected. I think there's been other infected movies out there. I can't think of any right now. But yeah, I know technically they're not zombies, but when I'm doing like genre batching, I put them in the same category, right? Like in my Blu-rays here. Guys, do you group your movies by like genre? I do that. And I have like, say I got a slasher shelf here. Then here I got like a psychotic horror, backwoods horror type stuff like Hills Have Eyes. Then you get down to the werewolf, vampire movies, and zombies. Where do I put 28 Days Later? Do I put it in slashers? No, I don't create a separate category for infected, right? Because there's not that many of these movies. They move around. It's like a whole bunch of people running after you trying to kill you, okay? And they're not all there mentally. That's a zombie to me. So that's why I call them zombies. I know technically they're not zombies, but I don't get my panties in a bunch over it, okay? So I love this franchise to death, and I think this third movie is going to be fantastic. That trailer looks amazing, and I think one thing this is going to do is I think it's going to make the first two movies much more popular, because I'm seeing a lot of new fans. When I saw Craven in the theater, they showed, amongst the many trailers that they showed, the last one they showed was 28 Years Later. The 5 or 6 trailers that they showed before, they were all sort of the same formula, cut from the same cloth. You could see the template that was used to craft each trailer, the modern template that we constantly see. The bum, that everything's rhythmic these days with trailers. You notice that everything's like bop, and then there's like a beat, and then bop, and then it's like closing in, and then it goes bop. Bop, bop, and then there's like people are fighting, and then there's chaos, and then title, boom. That's how they do trailers these days. Then the 28 Years Later trailer comes on, and it's completely unique and different. There's definitely a rhythm to it, and there's definitely a build, but they didn't use some 80s song that is remixed to sound edgy or even creepy, and rhythmically spaced out through the trailer. No, they used this, I guess it was like an old like military speech or something like that from like, I think it was like, somebody said it was like the early 1900s. And man, the speech is so chilling over the trailer itself. And man, it was just a really great trailer. So I think a lot of new fans are going to be coming around to the 28 movies for sure with this movie. It doesn't come out until June, and I'm sure we'll get like a full trailer in like maybe March or something like that. April, who knows? But I'll definitely be there. Chris says, I like the footage we saw, but I was not a fan of the way the trailer was cut together. No fault of the movie. It looks good. Just could have done a better editing job, in my opinion. Maybe Chris, maybe I was just kind of focused on the tempo of it and, that speech that's given over it and everything. I'll have to go back and look at it, but I didn't really notice a problem. I think I know what you mean, though. There are a few edits that feel like they're a little bit too quick, and I do think that was intentional. That's kind of Danny Boyle's type deal. But overall, I still loved the trailer. It just felt refreshing, Yeah. So, yeah, guys, I think that's where we're going to end it today. I'm so glad I jumped back on. Last thing, I almost forgot. One of my patrons, Bronson Wright Wolf, I want to dedicate this last little segment to him, okay? If you guys remember, I put out this clip, I think last month. It was about the patron reviews. I had to put a stop to them just because of time. It was just so freaking draining to me. And so I just got rid of the top 2 tiers on the patron page, So I think the top tier now is the decap tier. That's $10. And you can still get a review dedicated to you in the decap tier, but it's of a review of my choosing because I'm doing a lot of new release. And if you've been watching the latest like new release reviews, I always dedicate those to somebody in the decap tier. So Bronson Wright Wolf, man, God bless him. He has been a patron of mine for, the past year at least. And I have done a requested review for him every single month, pretty much up to now. I owe him one more, and that's going to be for Memento. And I said I'm going to stand by you. I'm going to do that review. So Memento's coming soon. I told him that this time of year it's tough because of the end of year list that I'm doing. So, and I don't want to just half-ass it, the Memento. So that one's probably coming in January. But one of the reviews that he wanted me to do that I said I'll meet you in the middle is Polar Express. And being that it's December, I told him what I'll do is I'll talk a little bit about Polar Express in this live stream for him, just to dedicate this section to him. And I did actually watch Polar Express the other night. I was just flipping on, I think it was Max. And I saw Polar Express there, and I was in the mood to watch a Christmas movie, and boom, I watched it. And I remember watching Polar Express. I think I saw it in the theater when it came out. And I was reading some like movie facts on it. I didn't realize that that movie was the first of its kind, as being an all digital movie, And Robert Zemeckis, I think he just wanted to make that footprint, And he eventually did Van Helsing. What was it? Was it Van Helsing? Guys, what was the all animated movie? It wasn't Van Helsing. There was an all animated movie that he did after this, and it was one of those like period pieces with Angelina Jolie in it, and I think she was like covered in gold. What was the name of that movie? I can't remember, but. Polar Express, I do love the message in that movie, and I think the kids are just adorable, and I like, the whole idea of being an outsider. Beowulf, thank you very much, Beowulf, which I like Beowulf, by the way. But yeah, the whole idea of just being, feeling alone and being an outsider, and the main character in that movie. And one of my favorite scenes in that movie is the hot chocolate scene. I don't know why. When they're on that train, and Tom Hanks, I love the character of the conductor. I think he's the conductor on there. He's very strict with the kids, but he's also fair. And, you could tell that he cares about them. I guess that's the message I'm trying to get across. And when he brings out the hot chocolate, it's just such a wonderful moment. And the song, Hot, 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 we got it. I always love that part of the movie. And then, getting to the end of the movie, I like the rhythm of the movie when he's on top of the train and he meets it's kind of like the homeless guy, right? Who's also played by Tom Hanks. But the movie's just like a warm, candy-coated center. That's what it is. When you're done with it, you feel really in like a Christmas mood, and you feel, I don't know, you just feel like giving. That's one of the great things about it. And I will say this, all right? My granddaughter, I was with Delilah the other day, and one thing that's unique about Delilah is when I take her to any store, like, we'll go to like say Walmart or TJ Maxx, they always have like a kids section. And I always like to take her over to the kids section and let her look around, just because I want to see how she reacts. And she loves it. She lights up. She likes to hold the toys. And sometimes she'll literally like just throw them in the cart. And I'll have a cart full of toys, knowing I'm not going to buy these. Okay? And I just want to see how she'll react. And she reacts the exact same way every single time. And I've done this probably a dozen times. I say, Delilah, we got to put the toys back. And she goes, okay. And so she will, I'll grab it and I'll hand it to her and she'll put them back on the shelf. And she has never once like pitched a fit. Never once leaving the store. And I've seen a lot of kids, you see them, they cling on to that toy. I probably did it when I was young. I think I did do it with like a He-Man toy or something like that. They have their heart set on something, and then they leave the store and they can't have it. And Delilah never does that. And there have been times when we buy her stuff, but if, more times than not, we leave, not buying anything. And she never reacts. And so I asked Delilah a question the other day. She likes me to sit in the back seat with her when we're going for a ride, and my daughter was driving. And I said, Delilah, what's more important to you? Is it presents? Because we were talking about Christmas. Is it presents or is it family? And without missing a beat, she goes, family. And it just lit me up. I was like, that's what it's all about. That's what Christmas is all about. And that's what the Polar Express is all about. It's about feeling like you have a family, and it might not even be your immediate family. It's about just togetherness. And I think that's when Christmas is the best. When you can give to somebody and see them light up, or just spending, like when I spent time with I went home to see my parents for Thanksgiving, like right before Thanksgiving. And I got to hang out with all my nephews and nieces and their families. And man, I tell you, it was just the best feeling in the world. I had such a blast hanging out with them, seeing my parents. My mom was cooking every minute of the day that I saw her. That woman will cook for 3 days straight. And it was just nice. And I think that's what Christmas is all about. You just got to get back and you got to hang out with your family. So that's the little Polar Express section for Bronson Wright Wolf. That is to you, good sir. And thank you so much for being a patron member, but also being a friend. Okay. So I guess that's going to close it off for today, guys. Thank you so much. I really had a blast hanging out with you guys today and talking horror news. I hope you guys have a wonderful time with your family. This Thursday, I will be going live with my patrons and channel members. Just so you guys know, and all you new channel members, because I gifted channel members, you can come to the Thursday stream. It'll be fun, and we'll talk about whatever. On Patreon, I always tell you guys this too. If you don't have the money, you can become a free member. I opened that stream to free members on Patreon. So if you don't have the money to be a channel member, then there's a free option. Just go onto Patreon, become a free member, and then you will have access to those streams. It's every other week. Mikey Weiss, brother, how are you doing, man? It's so nice to see you. Damn, Mikey. Mikey, I was literally wearing the shirt that you sent me the other day. Mikey sent me a couple of shirts. I think it was Mind Matter Lifestyle. I love those shirts. They're so comfortable. And they got like the hoodie. It's like great for the winter, at least here in Florida. So yeah, so nice seeing you, Mikey. Hope you're doing well, brother. Yeah, but yeah, every other Thursday, okay? I'm getting together with patrons and channel members, all right? And you know what? Here we go. I'm going to give 5 more memberships right now. Here we go. 5 more memberships. Just to say thank you. And the fact that you stayed here for the rest of the stream. That's awesome. Okay, there you go. Go get them. 5 more memberships. David Thorson, Alex, Do-Right, David Green, Goth King 99, and Diamond Rattler. Love it. Love it. Welcome to the DD fam. Okay? That was fun. That was fun. So, Kevin, you missed out? Oh, thank you, Chris. That was so nice. Is there a way I can gift just Kevin? Let me see if I can gift just Kevin one. Hold on. Damn it. Kevin, I want to give you a membership. Guys, if I gift one more membership, can you guys let Kevin get it? Here we go. Hold on. Kevin's been a big fan member for a long time. Membership. Here we go. I'm going to do one more, okay? And this is for you, Kevin. Here we go. All right, it's about to pop up. Go get it, Kevin. Let's see. You got it? Hopefully he got it. All right. Did you get it, Kevin? I just want to make sure Kevin got it. Kate missed out. You know what? Hold on. I'm going to do 5 more, okay? 5 more. This is it. This is the last one. So, Kevin, get your Jeopardy buzzer finger ready, okay? 5 more. Here we go. All right, here we go. Get ready. Oh, it just randomizes. There's no way I can like individually gift somebody a membership. That sucks. Let me see. Hold on, Kevin. I tell you what. I'm gonna after this stream. I'm gonna go and see if there's a way I can gift you a membership. Okay. Because when I click on your name, it doesn't give me that option for some reason. Channel activity. Go to channel. Pin message. Report. Put user in timeout, hide user from channel. Yeah, I think YouTube should change that to where you can actually gift people. It's ridiculous. So, Kevin, I'm going to look it up and see if I can figure this out, okay? All right. Yeah. But, yeah, anyway, guys, I'm going to head out. But you guys have a wonderful